everyone, I thought I would have a go at colouring a page from this little cute book, I Heart Colouring, which you may have seen the flip through that I did of it. It's a new book to me. I've only coloured this little bit at the very beginning, but I thought I would do a full page, and I picked a page. I was actually looking through my books for an autumn page, because I just wanted to do a little bit more autumn colouring before we sort of pass on to winter and Christmas. Just a coincidence that happens to look quite Christmassy. So this one with all the leaves and berries I thought looked rather nice. I'm just going to put a bit of paper behind the page. This is actually a piece of sketchbook paper, because trying to find something the right size to fit in this little book is quite hard. Bear with me. There we go. Now this page has got quite a lot of, it's a sort of randomish page, and I'm just going to start colouring and see what happens, really, using all my nice autumn colours. I've picked my Black Widow's pencils because they sharpen to a nice fine point, just grabbing my sharpener. I think that will be good. Now I've had a little look, and I can see there's lots of acorns. I'm going to do all of those first, and I'm going to do them the same even though they're drawn differently, and that's just where I'm going to start, really. I'm going to start actually with the chocotone, which is quite a dark brown from our Black Widows, and do the sort of base parts of them all. So sort of starting with this one up here, trying to put my hand so you can see, quite tricky. I can probably come in just a tad closer. In fact, I might come in closer and then move the book a bit there. That's better. Now you can see we've got this little design on here. I'm not going to worry about that. I want them to look quite similar to each other, and because they're not drawn in the same way, if I colour them in the same way, then they look similar. There we go, like that. And then down here, and my husband was chatting to me this morning about a set of colouring books that he's just come across. He sees them advertised actually in videos that he watches and on TV, and he said, you need to get involved with these. And it's a British brand called Colour My Street. You may or may not have heard of them. It's the sort of series. What I'm doing with these, you're going to putting a little bit dark on the edge and the middle, just to make it look a little bit more rounded in shape, really. So yeah, I've had a look at them before, and they're not really my type of book, in that I think what they do is they go to places, or they research places, and they find photographs, and then they use a bit of software to make it into line art. And I've had another book, quite a few books actually, where they've done the same thing, and I really am not a fan of that. It's because I feel personally that when you've got something based on a photograph, even though some books give you the actual piece of artwork, but this one doesn't, you feel like you've got to colour it in a photorealistic way. In my brain, I mean, that's what my brain says to me. I mean, it doesn't mean it has to, but you know. And he was like, they're such a big company and they're everywhere and all this. And we had a little look into them. And the person who started the company actually works in the BBC. So I think that, and she was also on Dragon's Den. And I think that those things have helped with the marketing side of things and the budget and the sales and things like that. Because he was like, well, they're so big. They're everywhere. They must be really good. And I'm like, well, might just be because she works for the BBC, she can get on all the BBC shows to promote it and things like that. But actually, I had a little look, and they were quite expensive, I thought. I mean, obviously with a small company, they are going to be more expensive, but each book was £14.99 or 3 for £10. Now, just to give you an idea of how that cost compares, this book is priced at £6.99, and a Johannes Basford book is also £14.99, so the same price as those other books. You don't get 3 for £10, but the paper thickness is about the same as a Johanna book, we thought, from what they said. I'm just checking if I've missed any. Oh, I have these. But you get 16 single-sided images. 16. In a Johanna Basford book, you get 80. I know they're double-sided, but the value for money, I thought, wow. But they put them in places, in tourist destinations and things like that, you know. So I think they sort of get that market. I'm just looking for any other signs of acorns. I've seen some without, oh, down here. So yes, I was like, those are quite expensive. Now, if you live in a town that they featured and you really like to colour the buildings or whatever in your town, then obviously it's a fantastic thing to get. But my town is small, it's not featured. My hometown isn't so small, so I look for that. And some other towns in the area, the larger towns, as you would expect. I'm trying to find the right colour. I want the, rattlesnake. Rattlesnake is quite good for the acorns. There we go. Let's start back at the top corner. Whoops, there we go. So we've got this one. Yes, there's a few towns that I know reasonably well, and I had a look, and one of the places they featured in one town I'd never heard of, and I was a bit confused by that. I guessed what it might be, but I'd never heard it called that name, which was odd. But you can't really see all the pictures until you actually buy the book. But I suspect they might be in like tourist information offices. If those exist, do those exist? They don't in the county I live anymore. The councils can't afford to run them. We have a sort of, in our town, like a mini one. Like we have a venue where you can buy tickets for events. And at the sort of box office, they have a few touristy type things. You can go and get a bus timetable or something. not. But I think because most people look online before you visit a town. I remember when I was little, going on holiday somewhere on the coast, let's say, I would write a letter to the tourist information of that town and ask them to send me information, and I'd get back in the post a bundle of leaflets for different events and things that were happening, because with no internet, how else are you going to find out? And that was always really exciting. I always used to love doing that. It made me feel really grown up, you know, and sort of nice. And then I got all these leaflets and I could look through them first because they came addressed to me. It's really nice. And then obviously everyone else would have a look as well after. Now up here, you can't see, there's a tiny bit. I'm just going to pretend it's a bit of an acorn. It looks a bit more like a berry really, but it's easier. We've got berries here. Where are we? Here. Yes, so that was really exciting. And yeah, as I say, it just made me feel really grown up to get this letter and be the one responsible. So when we booked our holiday, which my parents would do, they'd have a look through a paper brochure, like a magazine type thing, really thick, like I suppose a catalogue, and then pick, we'd all look and we'd pick a holiday cottage we wanted to stay at, and then we'd have a sort of short list because we had a particular dates in mind of going, because obviously my dad would have to book the time off work, my mum didn't work, and it'd have to be in the school holidays and all that, and so he would phone up. And then we'd have to go through this shortlist to see which ones were available on the dates that we were available and book it up. And as soon as he booked it up, I would then be able to go and write to the tourist information office and get them to send us all the leaflets, which was great. And now, of course, these days, you go anywhere, you look on their website, you find out what's there to do, and you sort of, you know, plan it before you go. Now, I'm just having a look at if there's any I've missed. There's up in this top corner here. I'm just going to do that bit. There we go. Now we've got a lot of different berries because I've done my acorns all the same, but they are all acorns. With the berries, I think I want to do them all slightly different colours. I think that's fun. So we're just going to start with a bunch here, and although there's another bunch down here that look the same, I think I'm not going to worry about doing them the same colour. I'm just going to grab lots of different colours. So I'm going to start with, there's a red called brown bug. Here it is, brown bug. I'm going to use that for my first set of berries. Now I'm going to use these. With a berry, I like to make it look like it's a little bit shiny, like I've done maybe a little bit with these acorns. Now they've got little dots and stripes on. I'm going to ignore those because I'm a rebel. And I'm going to put, see, a thick line around the edge, and then less as we go towards the middle. Now to create less, I do press less hard, but I also do less layers. So with my outside line, I'll go back over it a few times. Then my next line less times, and my next bit less. So we've got that sort of lighter bit in the middle. And it just makes it look a bit shiny. Now these are probably meant to be very specific berries because of the way they're drawn, the shape and that sort of thing. But I don't know what they are. So I'm just guessing and doing it my way. Which is what I like about less realistic pictures. You don't have to worry about making it look right, in quotation marks. You know, that's what I find harder about, let's say, a Layla Dooley book where it's drawn very photorealistically. I do my best, but I don't find it quite so relaxing because I'm trying to make it look like the real thing. And the same with sometimes Maria Trolley names what plants she has in her pictures, but I don't always bother to look. I sometimes just do it my way. But hers aren't drawn in such a realistic way, so I don't feel under pressure to make them look realistic. I just look sometimes at what they are for a guide as to what colour I might like to use. You know, can be useful in that sense. There we go. There's our first set of berries. And I'm thinking these, maybe let's go for a more orangey tone. What have we got in our oranges that I like? I think the pumpkin might be quite a good one to use. Is that it there? No. Where is it? Can't find it. Saffron, sherbet, sundown. There it is, pumpkin. I think they're in the wrong order. Goodness, fancy putting them away in the wrong order. In the different orders to my swatch chart. These to me actually look a bit like cob nuts, but I'm going to colour them as berries because I want to. I want some brights. I don't want all browns. So, but anyway, I can do what I want in my book. Now I realise that most of you potentially haven't got this little book because it's not like a big popular bestseller type one. But you can use these simple techniques to colour berries. Now, of course, you can use a variety of colours within the one berry, and sometimes I do that. So you can do darker colour around the edge and lighter colours in the middle to get a much more interesting look and colour and a better effect. And not colouring them all exactly the same makes them look more realistic as well, because most berries, you don't see, the whole bunch isn't the same colour. There's some of them might be slightly green, like less ripe. I think ripe would be the right word, you know. So, now let's go down. We've got some of these. These look again like the ones at the top, but I'm just going to grab a different colour. I'm going to go for the chestnut this time. I'm hungry. Why am I hungry? It's very odd. There's the chestnut. Now, if you don't have these pencils, I say this a lot, but just for any of you that might be new or have forgotten, I do have comparison charts between this set and other popular sets. So you can grab that. There is a link in the description to my swatch charts for Black Widows, and within those swatch charts, if you go to the Ko-fi shop, you can find my comparison charts with other main pencil sets. And if there isn't one for your favourite pencil, let me know and I might be able to produce one, but it will depend on whether I have your favourite pencil set. We've got just one little one here. It looks a bit like a bud rather than a berry, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to do that one a little bit lighter. Let's maybe, yeah, let's grab this one. This is the saddle, so we have gone for a brown this time, and yeah, I'm going to use the same technique. My feet feel cold this morning. I think apparently it was only 3 degrees last night. It's quite cold. Not quite frosty cold, but the sun's shining today. I want that bit to be darker brown on the end there. I think I'm just going to use this chocotone, which I've got out already. There we go. I just feel like that's a sort of dead flower. It sounds horrible, but I think you know what I mean. So we have a lovely selection of berries here on a really nice colour. I am going to go for a burgundy. Where are you, burgundy? It must be this colour, yeah. Now this burgundy's got some sellotape, some washi tape around the bottom, and that is because when you put a white pen on here, it goes bright pink. So it's just to remind me that if I want to put white pen on something to indicate shine, not to do it on this particular pencil. Same technique again, fading towards the middle. I find it a bit easier on a circular item than something that's maybe rectangular, but I think it's just because I've had more practice. But it also just feels right for my. This is so similar to that colour up there. It is next to it in my swatch chart, so I suppose that makes sense. Yeah, I was hoping to squeeze in a few autumnal pictures this month, because as soon as we get towards the end of the month or into December, it's Christmas all the way, isn't it? And then we get winter and yeah, Christmas. Woo-hoo! There's so many lovely things I like about Christmas, and Christmas colouring is so fun. So many nice things. I've got my new Hannah Christmas book, which I'm looking forward to doing some designs in. Yeah, I've got all sorts of other bits and pieces. So that's going to be good. Yeah, my December colouring is always a bit different to the rest, because often through the year I'm trying to complete a particular book, that sort of thing, whereas December, got these two I'm going to do next. Nope, in December I'm going to use the Dragon Breath. Trying to find it. There it is. It's a very reddy orange. Dragon Breath. It's impossible to read on the pencil. Right, oops. Put the piece of paper back under the page. It got caught on my sleeve. Yeah. Yeah, so it is good fun, I always find. And I find that by the time Christmas Day comes, it's the same with all seasons when you're colouring in advance because of recording videos. By the time the occasion comes, you sort of know more. Like, I'm recording this today and it's not Halloween yet. I'm doing it in advance for you. And I'd had enough colouring Halloween. It's not an occasion I look forward to colouring, but I found some really cute things which I hope you're enjoying or have enjoyed. Yeah. And I'm just switching to a brown. I'm actually going to use this dark tan for the dead flowery bits on these. I just make it sound really horrible. Yeah, so I found some really cute stuff, but I'd sort of had enough. By the time but making the videos was fine. I chose things I really liked, but I didn't want to do very much myself, you know. So in my personal sort of colouring, which I show you in my completed pages, I'm going to use the Bloodshot. I've got to just find it. Is that it there? No. There it is. Bloodshot for those in the corner. another sort of red. Yeah, by the time I've sort of done the videos for you, it's not, I don't really want to do more myself, so I've been doing more autumnal things. You would have seen in my October completed pages video, and also some just general things, you know, that aren't seasonal. Some people I know aren't keen on seasonal colouring, so they want something that isn't, but I'm afraid in December is going to be all Christmas. I know not all of you do Christmas, not all of you like Christmas, you know, but I have to do what I'm enthused about, and I hope that that's going to be okay. There will, I'm sure, be some things from Johanna's new book, which I saw a page in her flip through. I haven't got the book yet. As I say, I'm recording this in advance, and it will go out in quite a long way in the future. But I've seen one page where I could definitely put a sort of Christmassy twist on it, but most of them aren't, because there's flowers, you know. Right, we have set berries here. What should we go for this? I want another orangey brown. I'm going to go for brown brick. Where are you, brown brick? Are you that one? No, that's, oh, here it is, brown brick. Another one you can't read. Yeah. So yes, I'm unapologetically going to be doing mainly Christmas things. As I've completed 2 copies of Johanna's Christmas, it's unlikely to be a lot of Johanna stuff, really. There hasn't been much this month because I've been waiting. Well, there will be, because of the new book the month before, but I know her videos of mine are the most popular, so I like to do them, but I think people are just waiting. Well, I am. So excited. Right, I think we have one set left, which is down here. I'm just having a look to see what I can do to make sure it gets a good balance, and I think another dark red might be good, but that's a bit pinkish. Maybe that's okay. Evil Red, it's a good name, love it. Evil Red, I think it's that one. Yeah, Evil Red. Again, I still think they look, that looks like the edge of a leaf, maybe. It definitely isn't one of these. Yeah, I like good names. I'm going to try and fade it in the middle area. There we go. Yeah, so it is exciting. And I think I've just been talking about Johanna's new book for like the last 6 months. It's probably getting boring, but I think that, as I say, a lot of you come in to look at Johanna's stuff. So hopefully that's good, interests you. And there'll be, I'm not sure how I'm going to fit it all in, because when a book comes I'm going to start immediately making videos, but I've got to sort of fit them around what I've already recorded and make sure that I can, you know, get them all edited and everything. I'm going to be mega busy in a fun way. Right, now I'm just trying to think about where to go next. I think I'm going to do this bit in here, and I want to do some green foliage maybe on the berries, and then maybe more autumnal colours on the leaves. That's my thought. So I'm going to grab the leaf green because I like it, if I can find it. There it is. For this stems, here we go, leaf green. So I'm going to colour the whole stem in the same colour, but I'm going to put a little bit into each leaf as I go in the base, and then fade it up so that slowly by slowly we move up, oh, we'll do this side first, up the stem, put a little bit on the leaf, and then we can grab another colour to finish those off. Now I'm not sure this was the best choice of colour, to be honest, because I'm not sure the olive goes with this slightly pinky red that I've picked. But we can do something about that. We can make the leaves a little bit less olivey. That might help things. Just do all that. I know I've got to go back and do that leaf just a little bit. So basically do a few layers here and less up towards the tip. And what I'm going to do is find a slightly less olivey green. I think the cicada might work well. I'm just trying to find it. Where are you? Oh, there it is. Cicada. Oh, itchy nose. And I'm going to go over what I've done and then extend it to the tip. You can see it's a much sort of brighter, neutral green, I would say. And what I'm going to do when I finish the leaves, I'm actually just putting it on quite evenly now, is go over the stem with this as well. And it might just slightly tone it brighter. I put it down quite thickly, so it's not going to make such a big difference, but there we go. There is that bit. Oh, now I'm going to go, let me see. Yes, here, these down here have just got some really teeny stems. I'm just going to grab this colour. I was just grabbing at it. This is the fang green. And I'm just going to colour in these stems. So I think there's only one, to be honest. Yep, that's it. So that was easy. This one, I just put that fang green down. So this one, let me see. I think the green grass might work for this one. I've got to find it. Here it is. Green grass, just says grass because it's short. And just going to do the stems. And then I think, oh, it's the same as the one we just done, isn't it? So we'll do a similar thing, I think. We'll just do a little bit at the bottom of the leaf and then put another colour in. It just makes it a little bit more interesting, a little bit more fun, you know. There we go. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to do something to warm my feet up soon. Whew. So that was the green grass. I'm just going to find it on my swatch chart and see what I can put with it. I think the grub green will work nicely. Got to find that now. Yeah, that's not it. Which way is it? It's quite close. Is that it? No. Oh, here it is. Short grub green. And just do the tips of the leaves. We shouldn't have to do the rest because it will just work on this one. Yeah, there we go. Now we have one here. This is quite orangey, so this is going to work with the olives. I'm actually going to find the olive green, which is this one. Olive green. And do, although our stem's got lines on, I'm going to ignore them. Just colour it in. And I'm going to do the same leafy thing, so just like that. So a bit of colour sort of in the bottom half. It doesn't have to be the same in each one, the same amount of colour. It's not how leaves grow. And then a much lighter one, I'm going to use the apple, which I really like. Here it is, apple. There we go. And I'm going to just autumn this one a bit. I'm not sure about that word, but anyway, I'm going to grab the dark tan, which I have already used, just on the tips of the leaves, just to make them look like they're starting to turn colour, change colour. I'm going to do that a little bit more on the leaves that aren't attached to berries, but I just think it'll look odd if none of them are done like that. Okay, and now this leaf, I don't know if it's attached to those berries. I'm not going to do that one now, but this one here, these here are just stems, so that's easy. We'll just grab, that's quite orangey, isn't it? We'll grab the grass blade. I need to just sharpen it. I also just noticed this bit here, this little semicircle where I missed a bit. I wonder what colour I used. Was that the pumpkin? No, it was surely lighter. Dragon breath. No, I think it might have been the pumpkin. I'm going to try it. I'm going to risk it for a biscuit. There we go. Yes. Phew. Pumpkin. Right, so back to our grass blade, and we're just doing the stems. Nice and straightforward. There we go. Now we have got just one left, I think, which is this one down here. What should we do here? I'm thinking we could do, yeah, we'll go for the charcoal green. It's a little bit different, but it's quite intense, so I'm going to use it quite lightly here. So it's quite grey and dark, as you can see, but I'm going to put another colour on top to make it more vibrant and pretty. Do the stem. There we go. So it's just a little bit, and then we're going to use the iceberg here to go over it, and we're going to go over all of it, and it will brighten it, but you'll still see that darker area underneath, like that. It's a bit of a different combination, and we can use it for the tip of there and over the stem. There we go. Now I'm just having a little look around. We've done all of the berries and things, so I'm thinking that maybe I will leave the leaves until tomorrow. So this was sort of acorns, berries and stems, and then tomorrow we can do the leaves. Not sure how long that's going to take, because I might do a bit of a background as well, but now I've picked out the fiddly bits, it might be easier, but we'll see how it goes. But thank you for watching today. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day, and happy colouring.